Welcome to the 1000 Comics Podcast. We got a great show for you today. My guest today, Vital Dieujuste. He's quite the comic. He's an opinionated guy, and sometimes he tries to put me in check a little bit. I feel like, but that's just because he's a good friend. You gotta have good friends out there. You know what I mean? He addressed my gluttony, as it were. You know, sometimes I talk a little bit about how I like my fast food. I like my beer, but I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to eat more fish. I'm trying to eat more fish. I'm trying to drink less. You know what I mean? You got to work on yourself a little bit. We can't all be, real in shape and in the army. Anyways, let's get into that podcast. But first, I would just like to say that the 1000 Comics Podcast is looking for sponsors. If you'd like to sponsor the show, send an email to MatthewHeath.saga@gmail.com. That's Matthew Heath, SAGA, @gmail.com. Also, if you'd like to read my play, Renaissance Men, you could buy it on Amazon.com. Just go to Amazon.com, go to the search bar, type in Matt Heath, and Renaissance Men will pop right up, and hopefully other plays too. Hopefully I will have other works of mine on Amazon.com soon. So stay tuned for that. Also, if you'd like to check out my comedy album, Matt Heath Class Clown Revisited, just look right here on this YouTube page. That's where you can find my comedy album. Also, please hit subscribe if you like this podcast, if you like listening to it. You want to know when the next episode is? If you're subscribed, it's even better. So, without further ado, I also am not going to do the word of the day in the monologue, because the word of the day, I mentioned the word of the day in the interview. So stay tuned for that as well. So without further ado, this is my interview with Vital Dieujuste. All right, welcome to the 1000 Comics Podcast. I'm sitting here today with Vital Dieujuste.
Hi, everyone. What number comic am I?
What number are you? I think you're number 9.
9. Dang, I wanted 7. Let's knock some people off this list. Let's reorder it.
I haven't posted the doo-doo emoji, like his own spinoff yet, though. I don't know. Do you want his show posted before or after you?
I think I should go before. 7 feels right.
No, I think you're 9.
Oh, can we get back to 7?
Get back to 7?
Yeah, redo these numbers.
You want me to change the numbers up?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could.
Like, let's retcon your entire library.
I'm trying to interview 1,000 comics here, Vital. It's going to be confusing if I start switching up the numbers.
Okay.
You're in the first 10. So
that's fine. 7's my favorite number.
7's your favorite. 7's a good number. 7's
lucky number.
They say 7's a lucky number. Why?
It's a perfect number.
Why do you think 7 is so lucky?
I was born July, so that's why I like it. But I know, I've heard, religiously, it's supposed to be the perfect number. God made, it takes 7 days to make God the earth and a bunch of different stuff.
But the expression goes, he created the earth in 6, and he chose the 7th to rest.
Oh, yeah, 7 to rest. You know what I mean.
So 7th is the day of rest, I guess. The 7.
Yeah, it's a chill, happy day. It's a party day.
If you don't have 7, okay, I see what. But that's why you want to be 7. 7's like now I can relax.
Yes. 9, I'm starting all over. I'm pretty much 2. That's stressful.
I think it's even that way. In sports, I think if you're 7 ahead of somebody,
feel good.
You reach a point where like now I can kind of relax. You know?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not worried about him.
You're playing basketball against somebody. You're 7 ahead. Now you're kind of just running the clock.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, football not so much. That's the only sport I think. One touchdown. That's one touchdown.
But who decided on the points in football anyways? You ever wonder that? Like,
it's ridiculous.
Who decided on the point system in football? It really makes no sense.
It doesn't. But it doesn't make... I feel like now that... It doesn't make sense if you're coming out of nowhere with it, but if you watch the game,
right,
and like the scores make sense because like the stuff that's worth 1 point is worth 1 point.
Okay, like, so kicking a field goal is worth 1
3
point
points
while making it 3 point. What am I thinking?
Extra point.
Extra point.
Yeah, see that's different. Extra point is just a free point after your
touchdown. I'm really showing how little I know about football. Right now.
So like, but break it down.
But a touchdown being worth a lot more
6 points. That makes sense.
You know. It's I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, you had to do
there's a lot more guys working to get that
touchdown versus a guy from way out 40 yards can just kick a field goal.
Because there's 12 men that play on the team, right? Or is there 12 guys on the field at once? 11. Well, plus 1 if you count the kicker.
No.
Right?
No. Always 11 players on the field. That's it.
Oh, because I thought if it was 12, you divide by 2, and that's how you get the number of how much it's worth.
Oh, how did they get the 6? I think they just applied the value. I think it all makes sense. Like, if you do a ratio-wise, like, what's worth 1 point, if you start from there, it's 6 times harder to make a touchdown than that. You know what I mean? Or what's worth a field goal is 3 points. It's twice as hard to get a touchdown as it is for a field goal. So it makes sense that this touchdown is 6 points.
And the field's measured in yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think football is the reason we haven't switched to the metric system?
I'm gonna say yes. And basketball. Because we can say, oh, we're hitting 50-footers. That just sounds nice. Like,
you know, there's an episode of Cheers where they go to like a Celtics game and the players make the players like obsessed with counting how many nails are in the floorboards of the Celtics arena. Yeah, that was a really good one because you got like you know, the Celtics players that were like big back then were in that episode, and like Cheers takes place in Boston, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's get the conversation onto you, Vital. We're here to talk about you today.
Okay, do you have questions?
Yes, of course I have questions. My first question is how long ago did you get started in comedy?
It's weird. I started comedy right before I left for deployment in 2017. Yeah, 2017.
2017.
Yeah, because I was all like, yo, I love comedy. I might die. Let me just go do some stand-up. So I did a stand-up like 2-3 times. Right. And then I left for deployment. And I really didn't, no chance to do it. Didn't practice it or anything. And then when I got back, I found out my buddy Nick had been doing it too. Like,
Nick Gillard, also a great stand-up.
And so, yeah, I really dove into it I lied. Sorry. I was on deployment in 2016, so I dove into it in 2017, and so I've been going strong for a little over a year, I feel.
2000... you must have started. You must have at least started in 2016 because I moved here in 2000. I think you were already doing it when I had moved here.
Last year was 17. Yeah, no, I got back from deployment in January 2017.
Where was your first time on stage?
Funky Buddha.
At the Funky Buddha. You remember where your first time on stage was like?
Yeah, man, I had a good time. I cheated though because I brought all my friends out.
Yeah, but that's actually how it is. Like your first time in comedy. I think a lot of people either will bring maybe one person or bring like a big group of people just so they know they're going to success in some way. It's like, well, at least if this person laugh or at least if these people laugh at what I'm doing, I'm going to be successful because that your friends are going to laugh at what you do.
Yeah, because your friends like your sense of humor and
they're hyping you up.
No, beyond them hyping you up, your friends already actually think you're funny because they get you as a person and they get your context. A lot of stuff when you're stand-up is really trying to get the audience under. It's not that what you're saying is not funny. It's the audience doesn't know you. So
Right.
they don't get your sense of humor. They're all like, "Oh, is this guy being serious?" If you say something crazy, but I was like, "Oh no, Matt's being Matt." Like I get, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can do when you start off with like, "Let's talk about suicide," or "I've been thinking about killing myself," or something like that. I laugh because I know you. You know what I mean? I know your sense of humor. But someone in the crowd like, "Oh, I don't know this guy." But that's the thing with your friends. Your friends know you. They legit think you're funny.
They're talking about suicide and stuff like that. It's just that's what happens when you're more years into it.
Is that what it is?
Yes. I think
I've read this all wrong.
I think all guys that are like at least 5 years in will start talking about suicide in their stand up. Yeah, you will too. It'll come. Don't worry. You grow a big beer gut like me. You know, sometimes I get envious of you, Vital. You're young, black, fresh out of the army. Like, the world's your oyster, you know?
Is the world our oyster?
The world is definitely your oyster.
This coming from a single straight white man in America. You're claiming you're envious of me. I don't know.
Tell me about, you know what? Can we do it this way? Can you tell your whole joke about Djibouti, Africa, and do you mind doing a little of your material about
I don't mind.
being in the army? And then we get into your story about being in the army that way?
Which one? Just the intro of the joke, like
the one where you mentioned Djibouti and Jumanji, that one.
Oh, okay. So, oh man, I ruined the.
It's all right. You didn't ruin anything. Just dive right into it.
All right, guys. So I wasn't ready for this, but I spent the last year in Djibouti, Africa. Yeah, I was deployed there. It's a fun deployment, man. But I don't know. I didn't feel like I did anything because all my other buddies, they were in Afghanistan, Iraq. They were fighting ISIS. But I was in Djibouti. The only thing I was fighting there was the smell. I don't know if you guys realize, Djibouti smells exactly how it sounds. I don't know. And then, okay, another annoying thing that I found out while I was gone, my mom told everyone I spent the year in Jumanji, not Djibouti, Jumanji. So I'm pretty sure everyone thought I was at rehab for a year. And that's the bit. That's the bit.
All right. So you really were in Djibouti.
I was.
Africa. What was that? What was that like?
I mean, hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on deployment, so it's just like you're working, you're doing patrols all day, so that's it. It's your life, like cycling. I wish I would have got to see more of the city. I mean, because the country, I mean, we're patrolling the country, but we don't get to, like, really stop and interact too much. You know what I mean? So
you're seeing the country, you're seeing the city a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Seeing the city a lot. We patrol the city a lot. But.
What do you eat in the army? Like, do you eat like the local foods of Djibouti, Africa?
You're not allowed to. I mean, I would try it if we could, but yeah, you're not allowed to. You could only eat either the MREs, which is the meals ready to eat, like things like they give out during the hurricanes, those little brown plastic things. Yeah, look them up. You know what I'm talking about? You know?
Right. I think this is the perfect time to segue into the comedy sketch I wrote for us.
Oh, okay.
I imagined myself
in Djibouti.
This is me if I had traveled with you.
Oh, can't I?
If I had deployed.
Can I tell you something before you start this? You should have the background. The base actually has really good food.
Yeah?
It's a Navy base, so they'll cook for you all the time there. And also, because this is American soil, even in Djibouti, Africa, we opened up a Pizza Hut there. There's a Pizza Hut on base. So there's that.
Okay. You know what?
Whatever
there's a Pizza Hut there.
There is a Pizza Hut.
This throws a whole monkey wrench into this sketch that I
I saw like right away the first couple of lines. I was all like, yo, but like if anyone in the army hears this, they're gonna be like, yo, we got pizza here. Oh, and we had a Subway. We had a Pizza Hut and a Subway.
All right. At least it's not the restaurants that I mentioned in this.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Matt, this is a comedy sketch that I wrote. It's entitled Matt in Djibouti. And Vital has not read this yet, so If he doesn't like some of the certain lines, he'll mention it during the reading of this. This is the first reading of Matt.
I'm gonna cold read this.
This is a cold read of Matt and Djibouti.
Oh yeah.
All right. Hey, Vital.
What? Why am I such an asshole? Why didn't I just say
You're
hi?
not. You're just irritated with me.
What?
We both been on deployment. We've been working together for some reason for a long time. It's like being stuck in like a car ride with your like little brother for hours and hours. That's what it would be like if I was in the army.
Fun fact: we mix up the teams so that doesn't happen. Like, let's get sick of each other. But yeah, continue. I'm gonna start being an asshole off jump. Let's do this over. Go. All right.
Hey, Vital.
What?
There's no exclamation point. You just say what?
Okay. Take three. Take three. You can do it.
Hey, Vital.
What?
All right. Yeah, sure. They got McDonald's here.
No, Matt. They don't have McDonald's in Africa. I'm a dick. I really feel like a dick in this story, but let's keep going.
Oh, man, because I got these coupons. I have these coupons for a free Happy Meal with the purchase of a regular size sandwich. So it's like I have a pregame dinner before while I drive home before I have my real dinner.
So what you're telling me is you eat a children's meal on your drive home. You play with the toy and everything. Can we pause? I feel like we've had this exact conversation.
That's why I included it.
Can you explain? Can we take a time out and you explain this thing that you do?
Yeah, it's not a fake thing. There's an actual thing that I do once in a while. I got coupons for Happy Meals. If I have dinner at McDonald's, I'll have a pre-dinner.
That's insane.
I'll eat my Happy Meal in the car, and then I'll stick the toy in like the rear
That
mirror.
is literally the definition of gluttony. Like in the 7 deadly sins, gluttony, right there.
Oh Lord! I'm giving away deep gluttonous moments in my life. This is what happens when I go out to Djibouti, Africa. Because
it's real.
Let's stay in character here. We are in Djibouti, Africa.
Okay. In Djibouti, Africa.
We're in Djibouti, Africa.
We can do this whole thing from the top. We can do it clean.
No. The people already know what we're talking about. We're in Djibouti, Africa.
And I'm an asshole.
No. You got some good zingers in here. That's it. Don't tell anyone.
Well, there's no McDonald's in Djibouti. I think only South Africa has McDonald's.
My apologies. Clearly you did your research on Africa before we came out here.
Look, an elephant. There are elephants in Djibouti.
There's one, the circus is in town. The circus is coming.
But what they have packs of wild baboons, and these things are so vicious. They're huge. I'm telling you, they roll like 100 deep, and they're so scary. They have fangs. Oh, they're monsters.
So it's seriously like Planet of the Apes. Like people are fighting fucking monkeys.
No, they stay away from most people most of the time, but I've seen them like fuck shit up, bro.
No, but seriously, like they if you like, you're glad you have a gun with you.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, and
just because
they're way bigger than you think. They're not monkeys, they're baboons, bro. They have fangs, and you don't notice until you're like up close. Like, yo, this thing's bigger and scarier than I thought.
Yo, it could probably rip your arms off too, man.
Yeah.
That's
stay away from them.
Okay, so we got these monkeys we're worried about, but we see an elephant. That's kind of cool, right? But you think it's cool. I don't think it's that cool. So,
I think it's pretty cool.
So there's an elephant there?
I'm just saying there's an elephant over there.
Man, I can see an elephant for free at the Bronx Zoo.
You can see an elephant for free right now. You gotta pay to get in the Bronx Zoo.
Not on Wednesdays.
Whatever.
I don't think that's bad. This is good dialogue. Hey, Vital.
What? What is this? Why can't I just answer like a normal person? Like, hey, what's up?
Because I'm building something here. This is why you don't do a cold read like this.
So cranky.
They got Taco Bells out here.
Man, how do you even pass the physical fitness requirements to get in the Army? You would have passed. There are a lot of fatties in the Army.
I don't know. Trump?
Much fatter than you. What?
Hey, Vital.
What?
I read on the internet that they got some big ass turtles in Djibouti. You seen any big ass turtles yet?
What? They don't have any big ass turtles at the Bronx Zoo.
I think the line is because you're sarcastically going.
Oh, okay, I read it. All right, let me read it appropriately. So, what? They don't have any big ass turtles at the Bronx Zoo?
Hey, yeah, you got it.
Context matters, man.
Come on, man. Turtles are my favorite animal. Just let me know if you see any big ass turtles.
All right.
It kind of smells out here.
I know. Just keep it to yourself.
How come your gun's bigger than mine?
I'm surprised they gave you a gun at all.
Hey, Vital.
Why do you keep saying, hey, Vital? I'm standing right here.
Sorry, I just noticed something.
What?
There's a lot of black people in Africa.
That's a very astute observation. Can we pause real quick? I know we've been going strong. You know what you'd be surprised to find out in Africa? You know the black people. But the surprising number of Asians, like, yo, why are there so many Asians in Africa?
Well,
bro,
I think in Djibouti, because I actually did a little bit of research, where it is, it's like right across the pond from Eastern Asia there, right?
Yeah, it's not too far. I think the Gulf of Eden, they call it there, it connects right to that sea. So you can get right to the Pacific, all that. It's not far at all. It really isn't. And then right across to that would be the Middle East.
All right, so we're trying to make you people laugh out there in podcast land, as well as educate about Djibouti, Africa.
I'm ruining it. I'm ruining this podcast. It's a TED Talks. Let's go.
Hey, Vital.
What?
They got any
Arby's down here? No. Why would I just assume you're saying Arby's?
Because it's the rule of three. No, I was gonna ask you if they got any whores down here. You know, like prostitutes.
Toots? I love me some toots. Matt, you don't have to get with any Djiboutian prostitutes. They could have AIDS. Yo, that's racist.
A lot of chicks in Florida have AIDS too.
Yo! Chicks in Connecticut have AIDS. Matt, I brought this Game Boy with me. I want you to take it and just go sit over there for a while so I can be alone with my thoughts.
Matt takes the Game Boy and exits the scene. Matt from a distance. Hey, Vital, I accidentally erased your Pokemon file.
And I had a Charizard and everything.
Not bad, right?
Yeah. I liked it.
I don't know.
Should animate that.
I think, I probably wouldn't do well in the Army.
You would do way better than you thought. The Army's not hard. It really is just doing what you're told. There's no advance. Like
the 1000 Comics podcast would just like to say that we think people should enlist in the Army.
Yeah, for sure.
Extremely easy.
Bro, you'd be surprised. Go to the goddamn military, and then you're like, oh, life isn't as hard as I thought.
Yeah?
It really is. Like,
I just think, people are just like doing their job over there, but then it's like that's the violence is like taken out on the military. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot more dangerous than most jobs, you know?
Listen, I'm not, like, we're discussing difficulty and danger. I feel like two different things. Like, I'm telling you, the difficulty of the job, being a soldier is not an insanely difficult job.
Right.
It is a dangerous one, though, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It is, like, just have your head on straight and just do what you're told. It's really that common sense, eyes open here, work out. You got to be in shape, and that's it.
All right, so
danger. That's just
what if we like. I think that's the difficulty versus the danger aspect of that. That's what kind of boggles my mind about the military. Like, I don't know. I just don't see myself doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I know what you're saying, because sometimes it feels like the danger doesn't register to me like it does with normal people or other people I talk to. Like, it doesn't, I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe the military's done it. We have a different outlook on danger. Like, the way people talk about, the possibility of death. And I was like, yeah, but okay. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think here's my thing with it. I think maybe, all right, let's just say if I was my own age, like if I was, because I'm 26 now, if I was 26
in the army?
No, when something like 9/11 happened, I'd probably join the army right away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure. Like, if something were to happen, I'm so done with the military because I'm just tired of being told what to do. I'm so done with it. But, if something were to happen right now, I would rejoin. And I'm 26 too. You would do it.
That's, you know what the crazy thing about it's because we're, I don't think I'm the most patriotic guy in the world, but, when I was a teacher, I would stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance every day. I expect my students to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, not all of them did, but it's not forcing you to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. But I see myself as a patriotic guy. But what's happening in this country right now? There's it's not like the threat is coming from outside as much as it is from inside, people
weird,
are doing crazy things in this country to each other right now. You know what I mean? Where it's schools are getting shot up. Most of the bad things that happen to Americans,
it's by Americans.
It's by America. Yeah,
it's so crazy. We used to be this just outward country. Those were our only threats. Now it's definitely this own. I don't even know. It's we have what's that? Autoimmune disease where it's just eating your own body alive. Leukemia, is that the one?
That's what leukemia does to you?
Isn't it an autoimmune disease or shuts down your immune? I could be talking out of my ass.
Well, leukemia is a form of cancer. Yeah. It's kid cancer.
What?
Well, I always hear leukemia.
I feel like anyone can get leukemia.
Kids get it,
Yeah, because you only hear when kids get cancer. You know what I mean?
Because kids are, I don't know anything about.
I feel like
I don't know anything about medicine, man. I assume when kids get cancer, they just get full on leukemia.
You think leukemia means kid cancer?
The whole thing is just.
You think leukemia means kid cancer?
While adults just get cancer.
I gotta look this up.
I get there's breast cancer, there's brain cancer, there's foot cancer. But leukemia is just full on when a kid's got cancer.
That's crazy. Leukemia. Okay, here's what leukemia: blood cancer. That's it. It's just blood cancer. A cancer of the blood forming tissues hindering body's ability to fight infection. Yeah.
That sounds like the worst kind of cancer, man.
Yeah. It's pretty much just dying from the inside, man.
Please donate to, when you go to the 1000 Comics podcast, thinks you kids, you need to go to the grocery store. If they're asking you for $1 for leukemia, you give them a damn $1.
Leukemia is for everyone. It's not just kid cancer, right, guys? Everyone can get it.
I think we're doing good things with this podcast now, Vital. This one's an important one.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think when I do the cartoon of you, it's going to be you on stage, and it's gonna have the more you know, on NBC.
Oh yeah, the more you know.
Or no, you're one of the knowing is half the battle.
Oh, of course. PSAs? Oh,
yeah,
PSAs.
I think that's knowing is half the battle.
I would be so good at PSAs, man, because I do that in real life. I love telling people stories of how other people died, and I'm like, yo, but you do what you want. Like, just sit up, think about that.
You got any for us right now?
About what? You got to give me a subject for me to discourage you from doing.
Oh, like, all right. If I were to decide to, hey, I'm gonna go get addicted to crack right now.
You're gonna decide to go get addicted to crack.
Yeah, just because I'm fed up. I'm not really.
Okay, but that's hypothetical. Crack is so weird because like when my friend started smoking crack, I would make him suck my dick for money so he could have more crack rock. So, do you want that to happen to you? Do you want to suck my dick, Matt? I mean, if you want to suck my dick, go become a crack addict. But if not, I mean, you decide if you want to suck my dick.
You're talking about a woman, I hope, right?
Matt, do you want to suck my dick, yes or no?
No, I don't want to.
So you probably shouldn't smoke crack. You probably shouldn't smoke crack then. The more you know.
It was a hypothetical situation, Vital. I'm not.
So was me. Listen, that was the PSA. That was the PSA.
Holy
That's
Lord.
how deep it was that you're not even.
That was a brilliant PSA. Man.
I'm telling you. I'm so good at it.
I'll give you another hypothetical situation.
I'll try not to trick you. Now you get it?
No. I like the mind fuckery that you did with that. Like, okay, I'm gonna go. What's another bad thing I could do for there to be a PSA?
I don't know, but it's probably gonna end up with you sucking.
Should.
I'm just letting you know.
Oh Lord, the 1000 Comics podcast. Just like go ahead and say it. Matt Heath has not sucked the dick of any of his guests.
Especially for crack. Wink, wink.
Oh, man. You are a sick bastard.
Oh, that's
bad. Let's just say if I were to go join a cult like Scientology.
Cult like Scientology.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna do this. Matt, you got money to go to this trip that we're planning next week?
No, I gotta spend it on this Scientology book.
That's crazy. Don't you guys have to pay monthly dues? Isn't that kind of insane? Can you afford that?
Yeah.
Teacher salary?
But it's all good
crazy.
Because I believe in science now, and that's it.
But how are you paying your rent?
The science will take care of me. Don't worry.
I don't understand, dude.
It's all good. These Scientologists, they got these living quarters for other Scientologists.
I understand you're a proud dude, so I'm not gonna pry too much on your finances. But I know my buddy, and if you want to turn some tricks so you can make ends meet to be a Scientologist, we can definitely get you on board with that.
Turn tricks to be a Scientologist?
Yeah, because I feel that's where you're going to end up, because you're going to be in the poorhouse. That's a ridiculous thing to do.
No, they got the Scientology housing for the Scientologists.
You're not living with them.
Yeah.
You're going to live with Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise is going to let you in his house?
I'm gonna join.
You're still poor.
I'm gonna join the Scientology semen. You know they have semen.
What?
Yeah, man.
Wait, are you making this up?
No, they got a whole no, seriously, they got a whole what are they called? L. Ron Hubbard's Children of the Future. You know, they dress in they're in. They dress like they're in the Navy, but they're not actually in the Navy. I don't know shit about
Scientology. This was not my strong suit. I don't know shit about Scientology. I just went off everything I heard on the internet.
Oh, you gotta watch Leah Remini's show on Scientologists, man.
What's it called?
They brainwash people in people joke around that it's a cult, but it's like a straight up cult.
I believe it.
If any Scientologists listen to this podcast, they might start coming after us.
Yo, well, talk about us. I was just kidding, guys. I don't want no smoke with no Scientologists. I don't want it. I don't have the means to go to war with you people.
It's okay. You're in the army. I think they might have something to control in the army too.
Exactly. Man. I don't want any part of it. You guys win.
Nah, man, fuck Scientology, man. I'm pretty sure they write the textbooks that they're like pushing on schools now and shit.
But,
so they don't.
The new math. Do you think Scientologists are behind Common Core math?
They're behind Common Core everything, man.
What is that?
They're behind SpaghettiOs too, man. I'll tell you that much. All this processed food bullshit.
What the fuck's with some SpaghettiOs?
I think Scientologists invented Pop-Tarts.
Yo, I got a Pop-Tart in my car right now. What the fuck up?
Oh man. Let's get back to comedy.
Okay.
Where do you what are your plans in the future for comedy? How do you plan on growing?
How do I plan on growing? I mean, just this year, I really just want to keep getting my performance better, keep growing my material, and then by the end of this year, the goal is I want to start featuring more, and then eventually in a couple of years, I can start headlining after that, and then from there, I'd like to just be a touring comic. You know what I mean? Just tour.
You got enough material to feature now, though, right?
I have material, but not that I feel like is a killer. Like 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Like 10 of those minutes I feel very proud of.
Listen, all you bookers listening to this podcast right now, this guy's got enough material to feature. Fuck, this guy has a feature.
I got enough, but I can do better.
Instead of doing enough guest spots.
Yo,
this guy is...
Give me 6 months from now. Fall.
6 months.
I got it. And be featuring everywhere.
All right.
I got it. And then eventually, I really do want to be a touring comic. I also really want to write. I want to write some comedy stuff. I think that'll be fun.
I'm sure you'll write something better than Matt and Djibouti.
We'll get the details correct. See, we should have wrote it together and then we could have done fine.
We could have done some... I didn't do enough research, clearly. I don't know anything about Asian people or the baboons there.
I got you.
This guy's actually been there.
Seen him. It was crazy. The Chinese have a base in Djibouti too. Fun fact, that's probably all the Asian people.
The Chinese have a base.
It's their first base they built off country. The more you know.
But that, to me, it only seems like we have to be in Djibouti just because the Chinese are in Djibouti.
I mean, pretty much at this point. The Gulf of Eden, it controls like 60% of the world trade goes through there.
So a lot of world trade goes on there.
And it's also directly across that Gulf, that little channel of water is like a little barrier, so like the Middle East can't get to us, but we can still launch our airstrikes from Djibouti. I don't know if this is operation. I'm breaking like some clearance.
No. That's not about Djibouti anymore.
We're going too deep.
But you know something?
Tactical plans.
I think anybody listening to this that's higher up, and we don't have to talk about it anymore if you don't want to, would clearly think.
No, I'm pretty sure
you're only saying what we're doing to.
No. Here's what it is. That Djibouti is where we do a lot of our airstrikes from. Right. Like our base there. But I know most people hate airstrikes. Oh no.
Whatever. I don't know shit about airstrikes. It's all common knowledge too. It's in the news. Mm-hmm. If you don't read the newspaper,
no one knows anything that's going on. It's not the news, but especially with the military. Like I've realized that here. Like people's view of like the military and what we do over there and what's going on over there is, I don't know, it's so different to what actually is going on. I was just like,
all right. Do you feel like because you were in the army, mm-hmm. do you think when like people alter the way they talk about politics around you ever?
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think people do that with everyone.
Yeah.
Just like, you know what I mean? Those like, I don't think this guy's like this or this. Or they do think you're like that and they'll purposely try to challenge you.
That's like me, because I feel like I know you well enough already where it's like, I'll just say whatever I want about politics.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like, how do you feel? How do you feel about Trump? Do you like him?
I don't like him at all. I mean, I didn't vote for him. But on the same note,
did you vote for Hillary?
Oh, I didn't. I was on deployment.
I didn't get
my absentee ballot. I don't know what happened.
Soldiers don't vote.
We were supposed to get absentee ballots, but I don't know. Just Didn't happen.
They just never showed up.
I would never speak ill of my command, so let's go to the next subject. I just know I didn't vote. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but honestly, during that election, who gives a shit if you did, you didn't get? Here's my opinion of how I feel about both Hillary and fucking Trump.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get your the chance to vote for it, but like, who gives a shit? It was like a Hollywood like just a shit show that election was.
Yeah, but I don't know. I definitely wouldn't have voted for Trump, and then I don't know. He's said some disparaging things. I don't know. I don't want to agree too much with him on if it's anything more than Trump's politics. I don't like him as a person. I don't think he's a good person.
Right.
Like this. I don't know. Something about me. I would also politics aside of anything. I always would choose who I think's a better person.
Okay.
Because like I don't know. Like politics. Especially with the president, I feel like it takes so long to make actual change and movement that like 4 years, you can fuck some shit up for 4 years, but you're not going to do any like permanent damage. But like a good person can like decide in a time of crisis, like, those moments that can change the whole world. Like what if JFK had struck his nuclear button during the Cuban Missile Crisis? It's like, well, like end of the world, right? Like you hope a good person's in charge at that moment. He's like, no, like that's what it is more than anything. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Well, that's I think that's the whole thing with politics, man. Especially with it's like I guess I've leaned more to the left in cases, but then again, I was raised kind of like conservative. I feel, and my parents were always like voted Republican, I feel like, but I feel like I don't educate myself enough about politics. To
my buddy
to
Nick
make decisions. You know what I mean?
Educated. He's forced me to become educated in politics. Yeah. Nick's always talking about politics. Everything, dude. Like, so now you have to keep up with him. I'm like watching podcasts. It's like, who is Ben Shapiro? Like,
who is Ben Shapiro?
Ask Nick.
I'm gonna have Nick learn on this podcast.
Oh yeah,
but then again, I don't want to talk about too much about politics. This is definitely not a political show. We do clearly
because we don't have any hard opinions. I'm too busy trying to be funny.
Let's get into the deeper 1,000 comics questions. You believe in God, Vital?
In this moment, I'm not saying I don't believe, but I don't know. It's weird because I was raised Catholic. I went through everything, all my steps. Yeah,
I was raised Catholic too. You got confirmed and everything.
Mm-hmm. I used to be an altar boy. Man, I was super good at church around here, Sacred Heart. It's not too far from here.
Wow! Yeah, so you were raised Catholic here in Lake Worth.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know how to phrase this question without without seeming offensive. Because most Catholic churches I know are I don't like black people are Christian.
No,
but
guys.
You're the first black person I've ever met that told me they're Catholic.
Well, here's the thing too. I'm Haitian, so
right.
Most Haitians are Catholic. That church, it has a huge like Haitian mass.
Really?
Like, yeah, the whole mass is in Creole. Like, we have our own. I'm pretty sure we have our own like bishop in Haiti too. Like, hey, like, yeah, we're big like in Catholicism.
I didn't realize that you guys. I didn't realize you guys were pro Pope. I didn't realize.
Voodoo is not our national religion.
No, because there's so many different kinds of Christians. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't know if Haiti was a real. I'm not saying that.
No, I know what you're saying. You just didn't know.
Catholic aren't real Christians.
Catholics are the real Christians. We were first. Better, more organized. We have a pope. You guys don't even have a team captain.
Have you? You haven't read my play yet, man.
I have not.
You're going to take a copy.
I knew I was coming back here, though.
That makes fun of the Pope a little bit.
I'm good with making fun. I'm just good with making fun because jokes are jokes,
hey, listen, man. Vital might be not wanting this podcast aired because I make fun of the Pope in my book.
Yo, you better not fuck with the Catholic Church. You're pissing everybody off, dude. Scientologists, the Catholic Church. I pissed probably the CIA off for telling their secrets.
But that's because me and you, Vital, it's like...
Every time we get together,
it's like two planets crossing each other, man.
It's some shenanigans.
Because we have deep conversations, but they always end up silly at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is true, though. I don't know how listen, I just want to give a chance to tell the general public that Vital is never responsible for any of my actions. All right? Anything that I do that's questionable, it's never Vital's fault.
I'm just around, man. I'm like, you're with him. I was like, what? I'm just standing here. What do this?
You can't control me though, Vital. I'm my own man.
I'm just hoping you'll make better choices. That's it. But I'm not gonna stop being your friend. I'm hoping you'll make better choices. That's it. I'm still your buddy.
I just gotta drink less.
Yeah, I think that would help. I think that would really help.
So let's get back to right now. Right now, do you believe in God? You raised Catholic, but do you believe in God now?
I'm not saying I don't believe. It's just like when you grow, when you're growing up Catholic, but then I was still really a good student, so I was really into science. And then when those two sides are conflicting in your head, eventually you get older. You're like, I feel like the only real answer you can give, even if you're looking at religion through a scientific argument, is to be agnostic. Because scientific theory says I can't prove it either way. There's really no way for me with the instruments I have now to prove that there is or isn't a God. So that means I can't say that either. You know what I mean? So you have to be agnostic, I kind of feel like. If you're really scientific, you should be like, oh, I can't say either way. But
Didn't Stephen Hawking have something where he tried to prove there was no God though?
Yeah, but that doesn't prove it either. You know what I mean?
Because that's just a theory.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if there is an all-powerful being, there's no way for you to know if he doesn't want you to know.
I think that's the crazy... I think that's what makes the question, do you believe in God, one of the biggest questions.
And maybe I'm taking the easy way out.
And you can't... And it's hard to use science as a measurement because science is a
tool we created.
It's a tool we created, but it's a tool we created by using questioning. Because science is based in theory.
So what if our base questions are wrong?
Yeah, so science begins with asking a question, and then it's you try to use it to answer the most difficult question there is.
Oh, right?
That's a slippery slope. Trying to figure something out. You know what I
don't know, but that's just what
Albert Einstein figuring out E equals MC squared is more simplistic than that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but I don't know. That's just where I'm at now. I don't know, but I like. It's not like I'm against the church or anything. I like the teachings of the Bible and being a good person, all that good stuff. So I'm still not. It's not like I'm anti-religion.
So I think you.
I'm agnostic, still pro-religion though. For anyone who's doing good for. If your religion's good for you, keep it up.
But I think you're clearly just a more enlightened person because you were raised Catholic, you were raised one religion. But I think you, as an adult, you've taken a look at religions across the board. And you're like, oh, they all follow these same basic
it's all the
rules.
Basic core stuff. So
the rules to live by. That's the important part. To take from religion. You know what I mean?
And it's really just treat everyone good, or at the very least, how you would want to be treated in that situation. Okay. Empathy is all the point of religion.
Empathy.
That's what I really feel it is.
So what about the 10 Commandments? You don't think those are the most important? Would you put empathy above the 10 Commandments or below the 10 Commandments?
I would put being... Because some of those 10 Commandments are bullshit. So I'm going to put empathy above it. Because if I have to compare empathy to every single one, I was like, be empathetic. Empathy covers all of it. If you're empathetic, you wouldn't steal from someone, right? If you're empathetic, you wouldn't kill them because you don't want to be killed. You wouldn't want someone...
all right, we going through the 10? Because
I don't know all of them.
The first one is... thou shalt...
Yeah, you want to look it up? We're gonna get it.
Yeah, we can look it up. I think it's thou shalt not worship any gods before me. Like, worship of false idols. Like, that's the biggie, right?
Also, that one's super if I don't think God would really say that's a little shady.
Do you think that one's bullshit though?
That was a little shady. First off, I was like, if you had a loving God who was never worried about his power,
he wouldn't be jealous.
Yeah, why would the first thing he tries to do is consolidate his power? That's such a human thing to say and do. The Bible's just written by men, so it's just like such a weird thing. The first thing you do when you get in power is like, also, don't worship anyone else. I was like, why would God need to say that? You know what I mean? God's God.
You know what it is? I think that's because not only was the Bible written by men, but that's a very like a kingly attitude to take. Don't worship any gods before, just like you wouldn't that new king. Don't talk about that old king. Of a king. You know what I mean?
That's super I don't know. Thou shalt not know. Yeah, you got the first one. The second one. Thou shalt not make idols.
Make idols. So make idol, meaning if you have a little statue of a Buddha or you know how people
of other deities, more like that, even more worship. Second act, more consolidating his power.
But I think it's more simplistic than that too. Like, have you ever gotten sentimental just over an object?
Yeah, of course.
I think that's a part of it too. That's a
you shouldn't put emotion into objects.
Yeah, because the only thing you really got to have love for is God, right? Mm-hmm. So if you put so much love into an object that it's the most important thing to you, it can't be the most.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, for sure. But that's the whole thing about these. It's how you interpret them, right?
Right.
It's just.
I don't know, dude. When you were a kid, did you have an object that you just had to?
No, I wasn't
No, you weren't obsessive with anything.
No, I was just super free spirit as a kid. I felt like I was so stupid as a kid. I was so foggy headed. I was just dumb. I had no idea. I was so ditzy of everything. I was in my own head all the time.
In your own head, it was just Vital World.
Yeah, life was so, and I don't even know. It felt like I woke up in middle school. I don't know what it was. I really was and then I was oh, I gotta be a person.
You know what that was? You know what that
puberty?
It was puberty. You were
ruined it. I miss the good old days.
But I think that's the way it is with everybody, right?
Probably. I don't know. I only know me. I haven't discussed it with anyone.
Do you think there's got to be people out there though where it's the opposite though, where they may be really normal when they were kids and then they go through puberty,
this is what I'm talking.
And then they snap into some kind of
some people are forced to grow up really young and then go back because I know some people talk about their childhoods in such clear and defining details and what they were feeling at that time. I was like, when I was 8, I had no idea feelings like that. You know what I mean? Even when I was 10, I was still pretty in my world. And there are people who are 10 who have been through some shit, and they get to, you know what I mean? That's
most of the awful things that happened in my life happened in my early 20s. I feel like a lot of experienced a lot of death. Then in my life, so it's I don't even really think back to my childhood.
Really?
But I think it comes back. I think it comes back in waves. I bet it'll happen that way.
Oh yeah, no, it happens all the time.
No, you get
next
week I'll run into you. Man, one time this thing happened to me when I was 8 years old.
We just started talking about church, and I haven't thought of Catholic Church in a while. And I just remembered, Sacred Heart. I haven't thought of Sacred Heart at all in years.
So you can't. There's not something like that you could think of that like happened specifically to you when you were growing up in church. When you were 8 years old, you were going to church.
Here's the thing, it's not that I can't remember the things that are happening to me. I remembered in very clear detail. It's just like, I feel like I didn't have any feelings or care about anything.
So,
you know what I mean?
So because you didn't have like, maybe like a grasp or a true opinion of what was happening
everything
around you.
did not matter. Like, I remember things are happening, things, I just don't care. I'm just like, whatever. And then all of a sudden I started caring. That's when the anxiety came in life.
Oh my God. I kind of lost my my train of thought there.
Were we on a religion?
We were talking about religion, and we were talking about how you had like an empty head when you were a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, tell me, what were you like in high school?
High school's figuring it out, man. You know how you're doing. I was super skinny. I was nerdy. And my braces most of high school, glasses, all the good stuff. And but I played sports still. I wrestled, track, cross country, played football freshman year.
Right.
You know, random off sports for fun, bowling, I don't know. And so I don't know. I was friends. I feel like I was friends with everyone. I got voted most infamous, which I don't think I deserved. I would pull pranks a lot and
most
party.
Infamous.
Yeah.
That's
senior year.
That's a very negative thing. That's like,
or is it most likely to be infamous? I forget what the superlative was. Yeah.
Wait. Most likely to be notorious.
Yeah, infamous. They really thought I was up to no good. I had so much energy and I was such a hyper dick back then. I remember. I don't know. I would just pull pranks all the time. Super annoying.
Yeah, but that's like saying you're the most likely to be evil.
I don't know if it's necessary. Infamy always means evil. Does it? Infamous just means you went down for some crazy shit. I don't know.
Talking about Scientology on a podcast.
You're right? I don't know. You were just that's infamous. That story's everything. He's just part of the story. I'm sure I might be a part of some crazy story one day.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think it would be? Did you have an idea of what it would be? Back then?
Oh.
When you saw that, was it in the school newspaper or the yearbook?
I shouldn't even put this out just because, I don't know. Listen,
now you have to.
Oh, yeah. I used to moon people all the time when I was
You were the mooner.
Yeah, I would just moon. I used to love getting naked and we would go streaking. I would be
You were like Will Ferrell in Old School.
Yeah, exactly. Full Will Ferrell, dude. All the time. So it's probably that. They thought I would get in trouble eventually or get caught. Probably indecent exposures, infamous like that.
But you never did get caught for it back then. Did you ever?
No,
you never
no.
You caught any charges for shit like that?
But also I was super young. I was always under 18. I graduated when I was 17.
Did a teacher ever see you mooning anybody?
No.
Put your ass away.
I think they've heard you would hear about it. But I was slick. I planned it out. I was a little asshole.
Okay, so was it in the hallway or
no? I'll never forget. One day it was. I knew the teacher wasn't going to be late for class because he walked in and he said he had to go. It'll be a few minutes. He even said that, right?
Right.
And then half the class was in there. Every person that walked in the door, I was on the desk just mooning. Just and I knew, but even the teacher told, I think someone told the teacher, and then I was like, no, and then a bunch of people backed me up. It was still, if people got mooned, it was just an insane thing.
Wow.
To do. Yeah. I would plan it out, but I'm just and then I ran cross country too, so we're running different spots, and it's a 3-mile race. There's so many different spots I can moon my teammates.
You would run to spots to moon people.
During a race.
Yes. That sounds very cartoonish. A tortoise in the hare.
Yeah.
And you're I'm faster than you. I'm going to get to the spot, and then I'm going to moon you. And then I'm still going to beat you.
One race, I turned around and started running backwards. Oh, I'm such a piece of shit. When I'm winning, don't let me win stuff.
You've turn the end of this podcast into a Bugs Bunny cartoon. That's what you're doing to people?
That's what it's about.
So that's what
I'm pretty much Bart Simpson all grown up.
I usually say the 1,000 Comics word of the day in the monologue, but I gotta say the word of the day is infamous. Because not only did they say you were going to be infamous in high school, but now you're infamous for the same thing, for delivering this story.
Oh, right.
On the podcast. Isn't that something? Oh,
full circle. They knew
that I mean, we still got a couple minutes left. Is there anything you want? Do you have any upcoming shows that you want to promote?
Yeah, man. The Brass Monkey Show. Nick Goulart and I run that. That's in Lake Worth, Florida. It's a great show. It's the last Saturday of every month, so just come out. We have great shows. It's a good time. That's it. Oh, my Instagram, guys. Vital Who. That's VITALWHO.
Say it again for him.
VITALWHO. Vital Who. So special.
Yeah, and you grew up here. Did you go to Lake Worth High School?
No, I went to John I.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
I moved by that time. I was in middle school.
It'd be weird if you were like in the same classroom that I taught in, and you were mooning people.
Right.
There's like a 1990s version of me like teaching. Was your teacher a woman or a man?
I was a man. It was an old dude. I knew. I remember that class.
Oh my god, that's funny. All right, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you for being on the 1,000 Comics.
Thanks for having me.
Podcast.